So I'm talking and driving, and hopefully this phone's going to make little rustling noise. But I do want to speak today about the basics. Some of the basics that we're overlooking. Some of the basics I even overlooked in my business when I started. And I want to share this today because it's a pertinent date for me, in that several things have happened in my business today. But aside from that, we are halfway through, or even over halfway through, the month of March. So for those of you who aren't aware, March is the third month of the year, and some of you might be like, where on earth has this time gone? Where's the time gone? Where has the time gone? When you actually sit and think, just the other day it was January the 1st, where has this time gone? So I really want you to think about some of the basic things that some of us may have overlooked purely because we've been in lockdown here in the UK, or some of the things that we may have overlooked because we just haven't made it a priority. How many things can you think of that you've got on a list to do that you haven't actually done? Things that you've been stalling, maybe things that you should have outsourced, maybe things that you should have got some teaching on so that you know how to do it better. The basics thing for me stems from this idea that it's basic knowledge, certainly for me being in business now for nearly 8 years, that if I don't know something, I need to go and find a way to learn it, right? You can think about it, you can let me know in the comments if you agree with this. But for me, hi, how you doing, Sharon? For me, if I don't know something, I'm either going to go away and learn it or ask someone who knows how to do it for me. It's quicker, it's easier, it makes more sense. But I'm going to share with you that what a lot of us do is that we punish ourselves. We punish ourselves by trying to do it all on our own. And I'm going to say, logically, that doesn't always make sense. Because when you think about it, how many things, you can let me know in the comments if you watch live or on replay, how many times have you tried to do something and it's taken you ages, and then you might speak to someone and they're like, okay, just do that. Just do that. And that's it, it's done. Because that person has the speed and efficiency that you don't necessarily possess. Because maybe as an expert in fashion styling, upholstering, design, you have expertise in that thing. And actually, if I was to come to some of you and say, I don't know how to sew this skirt together, I don't know how to paint my ceiling, a lot of you would probably be like, well, you just do it like this, right? You'd be able to show me a much quicker way because you are the expert. So then it makes more sense for me to go to you for help with my ceiling and help with putting that skirt together rather than trying to do it myself. And for me, this is like the basics of business. It's actually something I didn't learn myself until I was nearly a year and a half-ish into business, because I was that person, and this is why I talk about it. I was this person that was consistently trying to figure it out on my own, consistently trying to navigate YouTube videos and ebooks and webinars. And I know many of you do the same thing until you work out that actually, do you know what? This is not working. This isn't actually best use of my time. So that's the first part of what I wanted to share today. And let me know in the comments whether or not you resonate. Someone says, yes, definitely true. Someone else says, yep, definitely. Thank you. I'm glad you like the hat. I've got to get some new colours in. I'm going to talk to my mate Huey about that. But I want to say to you that the other thing that's kind of basics is that if we look at ourselves as individuals, or our children, or our businesses, or our relationships and our suppliers as plants, most of you can resonate with this, because whether you've given birth to a child or not, it doesn't matter. Understand this. When you have an idea in your business, even if you've already got a business and you're coming up with a new idea, even if you are someone who is very creative and always coming up with businesses, what's important to remember is that your ideas are great. Yeah. And they say knowledge is power, right? But learning and coming up with all these ideas isn't the sweet spot. The sweet spot is actually when you can implement the knowledge. That's when knowledge becomes power, is when you can implement that knowledge. And I want to really wrap up by saying that in business, a lot of us, if we go back to that plant scenario, a lot of us are doing the most. We're coming up with all these ideas, we're reading all the books, we're buying courses, but your business can only thrive. In fact, anything, young child, individual, even not business related, can only thrive if you give it the right environment. So if you think about, I've got a Monstera plant at home, right? I've become a bit of a plant freak. Some of you will resonate with this if you've been in the pandemic, been doing a bit of interior styling. So I've got a Monstera plant, and that plant, I hope I've pronounced it right, I'm sure my plant clients will tell me, that plant needs certain conditions, right? So those certain conditions might include, for any plant, sunlight, water, certain type of plant food, certain type of soil type. And I'll even go a step further to say that when your plant gets to a certain size, you've got to repot it, right? You have to repot your plant in order for it to survive and get even bigger. Now, if you think about this in terms of your business, this will start to make sense, because what a lot of us are doing is we have our business and we are not helping it to grow. We are not putting the right environment around our business, whether that's people, whether that's communities, whether that's social networks, whether that is, you know, nurturing relationships and conversations, whether that's adding more water to it or the sunlight. It's no different when you run a business. So if you think about your business as a plant, my question to you is that in relation to what I've shared this afternoon, what is your plant lacking? And let me share something with you. That example that I gave to you of the plant can be also related to your children. It can be related to you in your employment if you don't even have a business yet. For you to thrive as a person, as a child, as a student, as an employee, as a business owner, you need to be around the right environment, and you also need to be feeding yourself with the right type of information and content. Hey Nikki, how you doing? Hey Sandra, how you doing? So if you're in business, the basics are that, first of all, you want to really understand where's the gaps. Don't try and outdo yourself with the learning. Where are the gaps? Knowledge is power, but actually it's only power when you start implementing. Secondly, right? I want you to make sure that when you are actually in business, you've recognized where you need to actually make changes, who you need to be around, and that your environment is correct. Yeah? So that you're clear that you've given yourself the best foundation possible, very much like that plant. You've got the right amount of sunlight, you've got the right amount of water, the nutrients are there. So that plant has everything it needs to grow. So no matter how many businesses you run, no matter how many hats you wear, right? It's your job to make sure that you are basically looking after the plant, the seed. And when it gets to a certain point, I always talk about the level up. Understand that level up in relation to the plant is repotting it. Yeah, that's the basics. A lot of us are doing the most and we're not tying anything together. We are not doing much beyond the business idea in terms of understanding that to run a business, you must have certain criteria. Registering your business, basic, but a lot of people won't do that because why? They're running away from the tax man. Yeah. Organizing your content. Why? Because you want your brand to be known for something. Yeah, basics, but we're not doing it. Yeah, monitoring our time on social media. A lot of us are not doing that. Posting new content consistently, but not actually clear on whether the content's actually doing us any justice or whether we're actually connecting with people. These are like basic things. If you're watching this and you feel like, my goodness, she's talking sense, I need to get some help, then drop me a message on my Vee Roberts page, okay? Drop me a message and let me know specifically what aspect of this video might have resonated with you. Because for me, I want to move people this year from basics, in other words, from a position where perhaps you haven't got all of these things sorted, to a position where you are completely clear on what you need to do, right? And if you think about your business idea as a plant, are you actually putting your plant in the right conditions to grow? Simple question. A lot of us are trying to build the plant, grow the plant up, and we're not watering it. We are not actually nurturing it. We're not talking to the plant. I know some of you will say, what kind of foolishness? But we're not doing the things we need to do to make that plant grow. And it's the same thing. You're not inspiring yourself. You're not giving yourself that brain food. You're not listening to certain podcasts. You're not reading certain books. You're not investing in the environment that your business is around. But yet you want it to be growing. You're not invested in your own business, but you want people to invest in your business. These are the basic things that we as business owners need to understand or overstand. Okay, so I'm going to go now. I hope you enjoyed the live. Please do feel free to share and or comment. If you disagree with me, let me know. Naomi says, all true. That's why I'm with Evolve to Grow. Yes, and I know that the members that are part of my community, they understand that the community we are part of collectively are supportive. There's definitely the right environment there to thrive and grow. And I'm just glad that I'm growing my community organically, rather than having all and sundry in my community, because sometimes that's when the environment can go wrong. And I'm very precious about my environment and my energies around me. So have a great Wednesday. If you've got any questions, you want to speak to me, you can message me on my Insight to Marketing page, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you've got around branding or marketing. All right, so take care, have a good day. Think about your plants, whether you put that in relation to your child, your partner, your business relationships, your personal relationships. For you to survive, grow, develop, you've got to be surrounding yourself with the right conditions, and also making sure that you are nurturing your plants properly. Take care, and I'll speak to you later. Bye.